The thoughts, views, and opinions of In the Red podcast and its host and our guest is strictly for entertainment purposes only.
All right, we in the building. Good to go. All right, before we even get started, by the time this airs, everybody would have had the news that Fat Man Scoop has passed. So R.I.P. to Fat Man Scoop and his condolences to his family, deepest condolences to his family. Trendsetter, you know what I mean? World-renowned DJ, producer, all out good guy. Never heard anything bad about that brother. So with that being said, man, again, SIP to Fat Man Scoop, and your work was done, man. Appreciate you. Well, we in the building. I got somebody in here who was a nervous wreck. All right. Well, I'm gonna mute up your mic for a minute. Let me introduce you. So, good friend of mine, known him for years. I opted, because of the conversation I want to have, I opted to keep them off camera and on a first name because she still works in the field, and I don't want her to say anything that can catch her up later on when it's all true. But you know how things are. People hear things, run with it, and I don't want her to be in a problem. So that's why she is off camera on the other side on my amazing interview couch that I can't show you, right? But, so we got Britt in the building, right? Now you may talk, ma'am.
Okay, hello.
There you go. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, let me give you a little insight on who Britt is. Besides being a great friend, 4 years, and an annoying friend at the same time. Yeah, you can say it. Yeah. Annoying friend at times. She's been in the nursing field for 15 years, right? Seen a lot come and go, but I really wanted to get her in here because, we're in 2024. We're 4 years after the, pandemic, and I just thought it would be dope to kind of like have the conversation about the after effects. What happened, with the first responders, then, the nurses, the doctors, I'm going to get maybe some police officers. Like, everybody had their own different experience. So I wanted to kind of get her in here, have a conversation, and see what, her outlook was and everything. How you doing, Britt?
I'm doing good.
You still nervous?
I mean, I'm not really too nervous. I'm getting there.
You're lying.
I'm a big liar.
Yeah, you're lying. You're lying. All right. So let's start from 2019.
Okay.
It's
Beginning.
The beginning, right? Because we were hearing, well, I don't know if it was the same, but people were getting sick on planes and nobody really knew what it was. And, I actually, on a personal level, had a friend whose family member passed away on the plane. And they were like, I don't know what happened. Like, they had the flu and then, they were gone and, on the plane.
People were pretty scared.
Right.
Didn't really understand what was going on,
right.
and not really sure how to attack it.
Right. Then now, so for you, were you seeing anything? This is like right before, it was the actual, like we had a name for it. Did you see anything like coming in, like what's going on? Was there any worry or? before the announcements?
No, honestly, it was like a normal day. The day before the next day they announced that we were COVID-19.
Right.
There was nobody sick, nobody coming in with fevers, no symptoms, signs, nothing. None of what is COVID now.
Right.
So it was like a blindside. Like we got hit with something that we didn't really understand that was so crazy at once.
Right.
And like, how do we control this?
Right.
That was the scare for people because everybody was scared. Nobody wanted to come around each other, and then you just didn't know. Like you just didn't really know.
Right.
I was scared.
Well, we know you were scared.
I was scared.
Scared of your shadow. No, but we're before the announcement. So you say, and for the record, you're in a nursing home, not a hospital.
Yeah, I work in a nursing home.
It's a nursing home. So those people kind of are already secluded. So they weren't amongst public. So you didn't see as much as I maybe.
As if I worked in a bigger bigger hospital facility,
Right.
It was kind of 4 floors, little small private. But still, all in all, it hit us pretty hard.
Right. Now, what about so now you get the announcement, and what about those patients before the actual announcement, the patients that have to go out, because it's a nursing home, so when they need certain treatments, they go out to the hospitals. What about those patients? Was anything happening with them first, since they were kind of mingling with the outside?
Actually, in my facility, there were no cases yet. Mm-hmm. All staff on one unit decided to go and get tested. Mm-hmm. And there were 8 staff members on the team, and 6 were positive and 2 were negative.
With no symptoms?
With no symptoms. Mm. So we were the start of the building. The start of like the spread in the building, because we still didn't know what it was
the staff.
Yet. Yes.
Right.
Yes. And then where did we get it from?
Right.
We didn't even know what we got. So that was even more scary for us, that we were all walking around and we were sick.
Right.
And we didn't know it yet.
Right.
So then it hit every unit, every floor, every facility. It just spread throughout the building like wildfire.
Right. And still no real symptoms.
Still no real symptoms, no nothing. Everybody was just testing positive.
Right.
For this.
Whatever this thing is.
Whatever this thing was.
Nobody knows.
Because nobody really knew what it was.
Because at first it was like, it's just a bad cold. It's like
we're just
a string
getting
flu.
Tested for something that we weren't sure.
Right.
What we were getting tested for.
Right. So now what ends up, when do y'all start seeing symptoms? Do you start seeing symptoms with staff, or do you start seeing symptoms with residents?
So residents started first. We started seeing symptoms with the residents first. Fever, chills, body aches, no appetite. No appetite at all. And then once we realized that it was an out of control situation, then we had to chamber up.
Right.
And we had to barrier the unit between 2 and us ourselves.
Wait, barrier, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Quick, your accent is like, wow, it sounded like you said bury her.
Oh, no.
I'm teasing.
Wait, because I almost thought I did say barrier. This is crazy. No, it's a barrier. It's like a chamber. It's like,
right.
Like, it wasn't funny at the time.
Right.
But, now thinking about it, it's all right.
Right. So you're barrying up.
I mean, first of all, COVID totally changed the way you learn how to breathe. Because we were all taught how to breathe a certain way. And then now here we are. We're in these masks daily. Like I felt like my lungs were being compromised. Like I just felt like everything, I had to learn how to breathe all over again, a different way to control it behind the mask. And that was tough for us.
Right.
Nurse aides, nurses, anybody in the medical field who had to be in an N95 for 12 hours a day.
Right.
Plus suited up.
Right.
Behind a shield. Inside an outfit.
Right.
Zipped,
sweating
sweating like crazy. It It was a lot.
Right.
It was a lot.
And for the record, for people who take CNAs lightly, like y'all do, like really, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but y'all really do the grunt work.
Yes.
In these facilities, like you know, people just say, oh, they're just cleaning up poop or whatever. No. Like, it don't matter the size of the CNA, male or female. If it's a female and she's 5'2" and she has to flip this man who is now 230 and literally like dead weight because he's immobile, it's rough work.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. And you're doing this masked up. And the N95 masks, they're not like those little
shield.
Not like the little blue ones. Just for the people who aren't sure of the terminology by now, but the N95 masks were the white ones
with the double string
with
in the back.
double strap over the head, tight fit, barely any air gap on the side. Then
it
what?
was real Grey's Anatomy. It really was.
Right.
I mean, sores on the nose. Like we were like it was.
Right.
It was
damn near feeling like you're hyperventilate every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Because everybody was so scared. Everybody did not know what we were dealing with.
Right.
And then the only thing we could do was mask up. Just put a mask on. So I stayed on the sick side the whole entire time. The whole 5 months I stayed on the sick side.
What does that mean?
Our facility, it was spread throughout the entire facility.
Mm-hmm.
But my unit is a psych unit. So half is men, half is women. One side got sick, one side never got sick.
So the one side is women, one side is men.
The women never got sick. Only the men got sick.
The women never got sick.
Never got sick. Nobody tested positive on that side the entire 5 months. But on the other side, the whole side was sick. And the men.
Do you ever had like any thought of what that could have been, like the reason behind that, like why the women?
You know we run the world. You know y'all going out first.
Well, because in my life experiences, usually women set up men. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think that the women, I think it all played a part in how cleanly we were.
Right.
Proper cleaning practices and in the medical field, washing hands, wiping things down, because it all depended on us to spread it.
Right.
If we were,
you mean say us, the staff,
the team, yeah.
Right.
Because if you're not washing your hands, you're not changing your gloves, you're not doing things properly and cleanly.
Right.
Then it could be everywhere. But we were trying to get them better.
Right.
We weren't trying to have them stay sick.
Still no personal idea, like what?
I had no idea. We only blamed it on the fact that we were that good and that we could keep a whole side from testing positive and staying healthy and control just one side that was sick.
Right.
And try to get them back to being healthy.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, did y'all have, without saying the name, of course, did y'all have like how they say, it's ground zero, like a patient zero that like maybe kicked it off? Like, because you said the men were sick
like
first.
The start of it.
Right. So
yes.
Was there like one?
Yes.
Was he mobile?
Yes.
Oh, he was very mobile?
Yes.
So you think like he went around?
Assisted to be mobile. But he was very mobile, and it's like, at that time you wanted to pinpoint people and blame people and say it was him because he was sick and I was in his room and I, touched his water cup, and that's how I transferred it. But really, you can get it from anywhere.
Right.
So at that time the patient did kick it off where, it went from that room to the following, and then it spread the entire hallway.
Right.
So, and we studied him. Mm-hmm. So we went off of, is this what we're dealing with now?
Right.
He has a fever. He's throwing up. He has body aches, and most common thing to do is, we'll turn the air conditioner on, give him ice water and everything because you're trying to bring the fever down. Mm-hmm. But we didn't know what type of fever we were up against.
Right.
So it was still all brand new to everybody. We were just kind of doing what we would do for ourselves. Let's bring the fever down,
Ice
some
them down,
Tylenol,
so-
ice them down like that.
Yeah.
Until we learn, like, okay, we have to learn how to get these people back on track.
Right.
They're not eating, they're not drinking, they're losing weight. There's no appetite. So we created like a little plan, me and my team.
Mm.
And if you didn't eat breakfast, then for lunch, you got a clear liquid tray.
Mm.
That consists of Jell-O, chicken broth, crackers, like ginger ale, Sprite, just clear liquids.
Right.
Because by dinner, you were going to be hungry.
Right. Pause right there. So when you say your team, because there's multiple floors in your facility. So are you saying your team on your floor, or is this like a overall thing that maybe you're with your DON and the head of the nursing home? Are y'all all on the same page, or everybody's kind of like figuring shit out by themselves?
Everybody's kind of figuring it out by themselves.
So your floor,
My
your
floor,
team,
my team.
Your
Yep.
your what do you call it? The head nurse of your floor. Is there a proper name? It's just head nurse,
Yeah, me and the charge nurse.
charge nurse, and y'all are
Group
just
of CNAs.
and y'all are figuring things out.
Because every floor had to kind of get it together and try to make a plan for itself.
Right.
Because there were different people who had different symptoms and were getting sick differently.
Right.
Like you might have a fever and I might be excessively throwing up over here and I can't stop.
Right.
And we both have tested positive for COVID.
Right.
So it the symptoms vary between the person and
Right.
how you handle COVID.
So you have patient 0, and he, if he didn't eat first, then it's liquid diet.
Liquid diet, because by dinner we would make you hungry because we work 12-hour shifts.
Oh, okay. Right.
So we were there breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Right.
So that's how we tried it. And they started coming back. They started eating. They started, getting their appetite back and started getting up, feeling better and everything. But it took time. It didn't happen overnight. Like, this is months of this.
Right.
Trying to do this, trying to figure out, how do we control this?
Right.
How am I behind the chambers all day in my suit? And then I just come and take it off and I'm going home and I'm around healthy people now. Like,
Right,
how
right.
am I controlling this? What do I do? So another safety thing that we did was we layered up 100 gloves. We used gloves like skin. Every time you touch something, you took a pair of gloves off, you threw it away.
Right. Right.
We never got down to our bare hands.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
Just, we were trying to do kind of like anything. We were learning off of each other.
Right. Oh, yeah, this
You
work.
know,
I tried
like,
this.
we're
Rubber
learning
bands
off each other.
on the gloves. Right.
And it just, even with deaths, deaths were very hard. And it was a mental, emotional, and physical on your whole body.
Right. But let's back up again. So now this has started. You have patient 0. On the norm, you guys work 8-hour shifts, 7.5-hour shifts, or whatever. So now this thing is happening. Patient 0 is sick. You don't know, when do the shifts change, like work shifts now?
So we worked from 7 to 7. Those were the 12 hours.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
And the next shift came in 7 to 7.
right. So, but what I'm asking, so patient 0 is sick, but you don't know what it is. So are y'all hearing stuff from the new, what in the building made y'all say, okay, we have to have 12-hour shifts now? What caused that?
So what caused the 12-hour shifts was after my unit tested positive, the whole entire building tested positive.
Okay.
And then people who were out and were healthy could come back to work. So there was only limited staff in the entire building.
Right.
So they used them as healthy staff,
Right.
changed our hours to 12-hour shifts so that they created teams. We already had a team, but they
Right.
created COVID teams on
Okay.
each floor
Gotcha.
just to replace. And then as people got sick and they got healthier, and they returned, then our staff grew and, everybody eventually came back.
Right.
It was rough. It was rough.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, we've been friends forever, so I remember,
I know.
like, it was madness during that time. But for the people's sake who didn't know, so the shifts change. Now, were there any staff like refusing, like, I'm not doing that. I'm not coming around these people.
Yes, and not refusing to take care of them, refusing because mentally some people couldn't handle it.
Right. Yeah.
Like they just,
it was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot mentally, and some people, nursing is just not for everybody.
Right.
You got to be able to, X might be dying over here and Y might be throwing up, and
you got to deal with the whole thing.
You're gonna have to multitask.
Right.
And you're going to have to put your feelings, your emotions to the side to be understanding to the situation around you.
Right.
And some people couldn't handle that.
Right.
Like some people couldn't handle people dying and getting sick and them just being scared themselves of this virus.
Now, if you could take your brain back to week 1, right? Mm-hmm. Let's just say this kicked off Monday. Mm-hmm. How were you Friday after your shift and you had to go home?
After week 1.
After week 1.
Wiped out.
Yeah.
Wiped out. My nose was sore. I couldn't breathe. I was so sweaty. I think I scrubbed my hair so much. My scalp was so sore because, we were like, COVID's in our hair too. Like, we didn't know what the hell. And just the exhaustion, because learning how to rebreathe differently is very exhausting.
Right.
It is. Like you think it's just a mask, but it's more than just a mask when you're behind it for 12 hours.
Right.
And body wise, you're trying to stay healthy, so you're trying to eat and drink and have immune boosters and stuff like that throughout the time that you're dealing with COVID. Mm-hmm. And COVID's beating you up and you're not even positive. You're just working.
Right. And what is the temperament at home when you go home?
Yes.
And you're coming from this facility.
Exactly. You bring it home to your family.
Yeah. But I'm saying for you, like what's the temperament in the house?
At that time when COVID hit, I was alone. I lived alone.
Okay.
So I was, I came home, I did my normal thing. I stripped down at the door. I bagged my clothes. I hit the shower, like I did all of that. But when I got sick with COVID.
Right.
And had my own experience, then I was nervous.
Right.
Because then I knew everybody was scared.
Right.
And I knew nobody was coming if something happened.
Right. And this is how far in when you got sick?
So COVID, I got sick a year after COVID hit.
Oh, a year.
Yep.
All right. So let's not get there yet.
Yep.
Let's deal with
That's fine.
It's still in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So now, okay, you live alone, but you still have family.
Yes.
Are you seeing your family? Is your family standoffish?
No, family is totally standoffish.
They're standoffish, or are you doing it? Because you're seeing this every day. Mm-hmm. You know what's going on. So are you like, I don't even want to be around my family, or is it one of those things like it's so much going on, I kind of want to be around my family, but my family is being standoffish?
I could have been selfish and been like, well, I'm still coming over because I want to play. But, right. I was, for their safety and everything, I was standoffish from coming around because I knew that it was getting pretty serious.
Yeah.
And we still didn't know what it was.
Right.
And how fast it could spread.
Okay.
Yes. Like, so I was the one who kind of chose to stay distant.
Stay distant.
Even though I lived alone.
Right. And what was your self-treatment? I know you said immune booster, so you're doing like the vitamin C pills type thing.
I had a good friend of mine give me a recipe for a remedy.
That would be me. That would be me.
And it was,
but it worked.
It was rough. The garlic and the ginger shots are crazy.
Don't talk too much because I might have to capitalize on this thing. Still trying to find a way to bottle it.
I was doing, I was juicing. Mm-hmm. I had a supervisor who would juice ginger, pineapple juice, and orange juice early in the morning for us to kind of just keep our vitamin C going and everything.
Right.
I was eating healthier. I was just trying to
Yeah.
stay healthy.
Anything.
Anything.
Right.
Like
Popping vitamin C's
airborne,
like Skittles.
even oranges. I'm like,
Right.
I'm doing it all.
Right. So now we're past week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're on to patient 2. Patient 2 is sick. Is his symptoms similar or are they different?
Patient 2 symptoms were slightly different. Patient's 2 symptoms were a little bit more, as the fever wasn't as high, but the body aches, the not being able to walk, stand, no appetite. So then we knew, okay, this is a bunch of stuff now.
Right.
This is a bunch of symptoms. This is a bunch of things going on with these patients. So now we know everybody is going to react differently,
Right.
even though they tell us cold. You know,
Right.
they
right,
give
right.
us all our common everythings.
Right.
But yeah, they were different. They were very different.
So now let's skip past the whole floor now. Not the whole floor, but that whole side. They're sick. How many people is on the COVID team?
Shift wise, so one shift for the first shift, there's 8 of us.
Right.
There were 8 of us.
And this whole side is there.
So 4 on that side, 4 on this side.
Right. And that whole side is sick. All the men.
All the men are sick.
All the
women are healthy.
Right. And are y'all switching?
No,
So you never switch.
never switch.
So it's always those 8.
One sick team, one healthy team.
Right. And it's always 8 of you.
Yep,
Right. And the same 8.
the same 8.
Wow.
Because we were waiting for people to get healthy to come back to work.
Right.
So it was taking 10, 14 days. We're on
Yeah.
a 2-week schedule. So
Right.
they're like, okay, well, you know what? Use your 12-hour shifts for 2 weeks. These
Right.
are the same people.
Right.
These people are out. They're getting sick. You know, they're coming back. It was like a factory.
Right.
Like replace.
Right. Now, in between that, I remember hearing like on the news and stuff, like the traveling nurses and CNAs. What do you call them?
Agencies.
The agency nurses and CNAs. They're making buku dollars. They're paying them out the wazoo to go to these places, these facilities. Are any coming to your facility to help out?
Lots.
Yeah.
People from everywhere. Alabama, Mississippi, Texas,
Right.
Florida, everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere they would come. And they took on contracts
Right. But
because that's how desperate
right.
the places were. That not desperate because,
No.
you know,
Yeah.
they are agency and you can go to a different state
Right.
and get a job anywhere.
Right. But it was desperate measures anyway.
They needed help so bad.
Right. Now, along with that, what I also heard was like the agency nurses were coming in, but then not wanting to do the work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm already getting paid this much an hour to be here. So it's just
right.
like,
And refusing. Oh,
I'm not
here,
going to be on the
but-
sick side.
But I'm not going to be on the sick side. I'm not doing that. I'm not touching them or
No,
whatever.
absolutely.
Right.
Well, we ran into a lot of that.
Right. So now they're getting paid triple what you're making, right? And they're coming in, they're doing not even half the work that you're doing. Did you, besides your hours, did your pay get to change?
No,
Your pay never changed.
no.
Never a raise.
We were offered bonuses, raises, and we were getting paid so much that it just capped us out in taxes. So it wasn't worth it.
Right.
What they were offering.
Because it wasn't really a raise. It was
wasn't.
like it was an incentive.
Incentive, yeah.
Right. So it's taxed different
So-
because it's not your pay.
Here I am, you know, I work a 2-week schedule and I'm clocking out at 170. Like, who works 170 hours every 2 weeks? Like,
Right. Right. And what
there's
people,
no, like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You know, so what are we getting? We're getting actually less than the normal of a check because you are taking a lot more taxes now.
Right.
So,
And I think people don't really understand that sometimes. Like, because let's just say, and don't quote me, but I'm just giving an idea. Let's just say your base pay is $20 an hour, and they give you an incentive of an extra 4, and then a bonus of 3, right? So that extra $7, because it's added to your base pay, they're taxing you completely different than if your pay was 27 and then you had an incentive of $2-3. So that 27 of your actual money and your 27 built up because of incentive and bonuses is taxed completely different. So that's kind of how the what do you call them again? The nurses that were coming in,
Agencies.
the agency. That's how they were able to like be paid, because they were getting paid what, sometimes $35, $55 an hour just to be there and do nothing. All right. So we're at the team.
But but that helped them out. Like, even though for a while the girls were getting mad, like there were people who were upset about that. But at the end of the day, we said everybody still needs to eat. You know, whatever you get paid. I'm glad that you came, you helped, whatever you did.
Right.
But everybody still.
Yeah. Is that you being amicable? Like you being nice right now?
A little bit, because I was pissed off. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm about to say, we've had conversations.
Push to the side. Put aside.
That you was all like, fuck these women.
Yeah, I was. I was saying loud stuff.
They're not doing nothing.
They're really not, and I'm mad because I'm sweating behind this mask.
All right, so now we're at the point where we're 6 months in, right? No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying because, I'm trying to take everybody through stages. So it kicked in February of 2020. Correct?
March.
March.
It hit our building March 17th.
Oh, it hit your building. But, the initial announcement was like February or something like that. It was like, right? So it hit your building March. Let's just jump to November, right? Doing the math for you.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think about the months. Go ahead.
Okay. So what number are we at if we at November?
I'm not sure now.
You just did the numbers in your head.
I'm bilingual. Like, I can't even do it. Like, don't even go there, please. Don't. Come on. I can't count. November is 11, right? I think so. Something like that.
Something like that. Okay. So let's just skip forward 6 months.
Okay.
Now, the death toll is high. There's a lot of people passing, right? At least what we're hearing on the news. But I'm talking about your experience. Are you experiencing a lot of deaths in your facility?
Yes.
On your floor?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how are you dealing with that? Because when you work in a nursing home, I've worked in the nursing home. I've worked with you. That's how we end up being friends. So, truth be told. You get attached to these people. It's not like a hospital where everybody goes and comes and somebody might be there just, for a surgery and then they're gone and you're like, hey, how you doing? In a week or so. These are people that are living there. They're not even called patients. They're called residents. This is basically their home. You're attached to these people. Some of them have been there almost the span of your time working there.
Yep.
So at the time, 12, 13 years. And you know them the whole time. And now they're passing. You kind of expect them to pass, but now this is dramatic. And it's the feeling of, well, they didn't really even need to. So now how are you dealing with that mentally now?
That was pretty sad. Because there were people who the virus just came and took that just didn't need to die. And people we loved for years, men, women, like it was very hurtful. And it was very hurtful seeing them in stages like that when you've seen them in the best stages of their life. Right. So mentally that was a lot. And then that goes back to like the nurse aides not being able to handle it. People just getting sick and dying on you. And then this is your third person in the day or your fourth person in the building because you got changed to another floor, and experienced something different. Like, some people can't handle it.
Right.
You know, me, I've been doing it for a very long time.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say that I'm numb to it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because it was very stressful. There were times where, like, you know, I looked at my girls and I'm like this is crazy. Like, this is crazy.
Right.
You know, like, what are we up against here?
Right.
Like, the whole world is going nuts over this.
Right.
Like, and we could smell it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy when you say you could smell a virus, but any virus you could smell, because viruses have to go through you, you know, has to work its course and shit.
Right.
Sorry, I mean to curse.
No, you good.
But it was a lot. It was a lot. We kind of just all made sure we were okay.
Yeah, but talk about that some more. Like, what do you mean you could smell it?
It was like COVID had a distinct smell behind the chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could smell sickness in the air.
Right.
Not cancer sickness, not like, it was just a different sick in the air when you zipped up the chambers. Like, you knew, like, you felt it, like you weren't going into a side that felt good. You were like battling something,
Right.
you know, and you could smell it.
Right.
Even behind the mask, you could smell it.
Right.
So that just, you know, zipping up the chambers and getting hit with the smell of COVID and not knowing what it was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, what are we doing? Like, do we even have the proper gear on? Like, is this stuff really safe?
Right.
You know,
Are you doing enough?
am I doing enough? You know, like, I'm bleaching the floors. We're wiping down the railings with bleach, and everything is bleach and Lysol. And it's like, do we need germs? Because, you know, you still need germs to fight germs.
Right.
Like, are we being too clean now? Like,
Right.
we were questioning each other as a team. Like,
Right.
what are our next steps here? What do we do?
Right.
So it was mentally, you know, I relied on my team. My team relied on me. We helped each other get through it,
Right.
because you really needed a supportive team to work with
Yeah.
in order to get through something like that in your building.
Yeah. It's a crazy thing. And all of y'all were very supportive to each other.
Yes.
Right. Now, what about floor to floor? Now, before you answer, I just want to just clarify, because there's always, in nursing homes especially, there's always like an atmosphere of competition, right? Like, this floor, we got all of this going on, like, you know what I mean? Like, we have the better floor, you know, no, we have the better floor, we got the better staff on this floor. So now this hits. You have one sick side, one, you know, able, well, not sick side, whatever. Healthy side, thank you. And I haven't had my Jack Daniels, so I can't think straight.
Oh, sorry. Apologize.
No.
I didn't bring anything today.
now what is that happening? Are you feeling that in the building now? Like, all right, like, are y'all trying to top each other with, oh, we have more healthy people than y'all? Or, like, is that happening in the building? And, like,
no, actually, every floor, the whole entire floor was positive except ours. Yeah.
right.
They were kind of like, that's crazy. They kept saying, like, that's crazy.
Right.
You know, so, you know, we got some people on this side, you know, who are very religious. So maybe that's why the side that never got positive. Prayed for them a lot on this side of swimming.
Right.
But no, a lot of people on now we know residents from other different floors too, patients and stuff. So
of course.
it was just, we couldn't go and visit anybody though, but we were just more or less like communicating with each other and seeing if everybody was okay, and you know, like, how are you handling it on your floor?
Right.
Like, not so much our patients are healthy. How many healthy patients do you have? Because it kind of varied,
Right.
like, throughout the day.
Did y'all and again, none of this is to sound morbid, but this is facts from other facilities about your experience. Did y'all have a dead room?
No.
Okay, but you know what I'm talking about. They had where you would put the people who passed. I know it sounds like rough to say, but that's what people were calling them. They were like, I'll put them in the dead room. Yeah. Y'all didn't have that.
No.
So
So if you if you passed away on me, then I would have to bag you by myself. I would have to put you on the gurney by myself, and then I would have to take you downstairs and meet the coroner outside. Because at that time, the coroners were being lied to about COVID being in their buildings and places that they were coming to pick bodies up from, and they were getting sick. So they refused to come into the buildings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was just like a meet out back, like how they would normally do it themselves. It's just we would help them now.
Right. You're doing that part.
So that was another thing too, because everybody was responsible for a group and a set of patients, and if you had people die in your group,
right,
you were,
right,
you had to do it.
Yeah.
Like you. That's what we're trained for all of this already.
Right.
Coming into it, we're trained for all of that already. So you should fall into play, but it still is a mental stress. It still can trigger people to be like, I can't do this.
Right. Yeah.
Especially during that time.
Yeah. Anybody quit?
A few people quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a silly question. How did y'all manage with lunch?
So, in between the chambers, we had a donning and a doffing room.
Explain.
So a donning room is where is a clean room, a healthy room. And a doffing room is where we would get changed.
Okay.
We took off all our uniforms. We took off all our stuff. We scrubbed. We took showers. We washed up, everything. And then we'd enter the clean room.
And you had to do this for lunch every time?
Not shower.
Okay.
Scrub. I mean, legs, hands, everything, hair, everything. We did that every single time we came out of the chambers. But you were behind the chambers for like 7 hours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you were in, out, walking because it's not like you could walk to that side.
Right.
Because that's the healthy side.
Right.
So it was like you were isolated to the area for a long time until somebody could relieve you.
Right.
The 4 over here, the 4 on the other side.
Right.
So we would change and everything. And like I said, my nurse supervisor, she would make drinks for us. And then they would just order food. And the girls on the clean side, the nurses, they would go downstairs, they'd get our food, and they'd come through the chambers and bring us our food.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of spreading it back and forth because the elevators were on the healthy side.
Right.
The stairwell was on the healthy side.
Right.
And we were all on the sick side.
Just stuck.
So we had to scrub up real good and stuff before we left.
Was there any feeling claustrophobic after a while?
Totally.
Yeah.
I was dying every day.
Right.
Behind the mask.
Right.
I can't do this.
But I mean, not even just the mask. I'm talking about just you're just stuck on this
stuck on the side. Yes, that's why we started to organize rooms and we started to bleach the floor and do things the housekeeper would do because
he can't come in.
The housekeeper couldn't come in.
Right. Not say he, but they. He or she. Right.
Because then they're just spreading it. You're going from room to room, so we don't need you.
Right.
We'll be the housekeeper.
Right.
So hot water, blazing hot water, bleach, everything.
So you're the housekeeper. You're the
CNA, we were everything.
You're the
coroner's assistant.
Coroner's assistant.
It was a lot.
Everything.
It was a lot. It really was. But I had a good group of girls.
Right.
And I said it was the best and worst nursing experience ever.
Right. Right.
Like a love and a hate, like you needed that experience with COVID and to test you like that with patience, with your mental, with your physical, to know if you can handle nursing.
Right.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's the height of it.
like
somebody who just started the week before, that's a test and a half.
Yeah, that that was a test, and we all say it. Like it was a real test on nursing COVID.
Right.
Because it was a make or break type of thing. Either you can handle this and you're going to try to figure out how you can fight this so that we can rehabilitate them.
Right.
Because that's the plan. The plan is not for you to get the virus and then you to act in with the virus. So the virus makes you sick. Now you're down. Now, like your body plays a part. So does your mental play a part when you have COVID. Because if you think you're sick, then you're going to act sick.
Right.
You could say I have COVID and then be like, oh my God, I do.
Right.
Tiene COVID. Like, oh my God, I'm sick right now. And then you were like fine an hour ago. Like now you had to think about it.
Yeah,
so it just
psyching yourself out.
Yeah. Like it was a lot.
Now, I just had something to ask you, and I lost my train of thought when you hit me with the Spanish accent just now.
I'm sorry.
It messed me up. So, damn, what was it? Bad interviewer.
That's all right.
Yeah, but that's what it was. Sorry. So now you're let's say we're 8 months, a year in. They're having these treatments, right? I'm not talking about the shot yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about they're having these treatments. Where are y'all getting your information from? Are y'all all like listening to the news and then trying things, or is like the higher ups in the hospital, are they getting information from their higher ups? Like, how is it coming in for the treatments?
So treatments are coming in from the hospital. Mm-hmm. They're basically, it was like a Z-Pack. I
remember, yeah.
That's it. That's all they were pushing was Tylenol, ibuprofen, a Z-Pack.
Right.
It's a virus. It has to take its course through your body.
Now, I remember at there was a point where it was like, okay, don't use ibuprofen because it's making it worse.
It was making it worse.
Right. So where did y'all get that info? Because I got that from the news and friends in New York.
That's where we got it from, is the news.
Same thing. So it's not. See, y'all don't have like a higher up like coming down. Hey, this is what the new plan is statewide. This is what we're doing. We're taking out ibuprofen.
No, that just an administration team. Team.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just like,
but they. Administration is all the higher ups throughout the building in one team.
Right.
So no, nobody had a plan.
Right.
Everybody was figuring it out, trying to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember at one point they was like, okay, you know what? They can't be on their back. You got to put them on their stomach. Mm-hmm. So when did that
No,
come?
we've never done. You can't do that.
Because it's a nursing home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was a thing. Like
that was a thing.
They were
to breathe, yeah.
To breathe, they actually need to be on their stomach.
Because it opened up, like, it was opening up your chest.
Right.
But I just feel like I don't know, even for me, like, I'd be like, I don't know if I would be wanting to lay on my stomach to breathe.
Right, because
I'm sick.
The story behind it was, and I don't know the truth, I'm no doctor, but it said you laying on your chest gave more room because you have more mass of your lung towards your back than the front because of your rib cage or whatever. So laying on your chest allowed your lungs to expand more, but you weren't doing that. You can't do that there because legally,
legally,
you're not allowed. In nursing homes, you can't even have the arm.
Bedside rails?
The bedside rails. You can't even have them up because it's considered what?
A restraint.
Right. Everything's
a restraint.
A restraint.
Mm-hmm. A chair with a little side table. A restraint.
A restraint. Or the ones that used to like curve over like old school. But you're too young to know. But in school, when I was in school, elementary school and stuff, like they had the desk.
It would slide over.
Yeah, you just you pull it in front of you. You got in and out. Those mats? That would be on the floor for fallers. Mm-hmm. They had to take those out, right?
Had to take those out. Yeah.
Right, because what hazard is that? Yeah,
they were tripping and falling.
Or you're just tripping on it.
It was taken out because staff was tripping and falling.
Because the staff was not even for the patients.
Not patients.
They just didn't want to pay that those lawsuits.
Because they're for the patients. They go on this floor if the patient has frequent falls or tends to go to the bathroom, lose like they're for them.
Right.
But we kept falling over them.
Right.
Because they were like the gym floor. Like
yeah.
They were tough. So they got rid of them. They got rid of bolsters.
Right.
Like it's just some things you need.
Right.
Some things from back then that they got rid of because of the new rules,
regulations,
and regulations. We need now.
Right. So now we are a year in, and now they're saying they have a shot. Right. Now, you don't have to tell your personal business. We can skip this part if you want. But are you feeling forced at this? Like, is everybody gung ho? Like, oh, they have something, let's do it. Because they're giving it to the patients first, or they giving it to the staff first.
No, patients got it first.
Right. And were y'all gung ho about it? Like, oh, yes.
No, I was not.
Even for the patients.
For the patients, well, a lot of things were being pushed in the political world about it.
Right.
And they stressed how it was beneficial to the elderly.
Right.
So they wanted to get the elderly done first.
Right.
And have them vaccinated and everything. But as far as staff-wise, no. I did not want to be vaccinated.
Right.
At all.
Right.
Totally against it.
Right. Now, the after it started, did you see like a difference in cases with the residents there?
After they received vaccines?
Yeah.
Of deaths or just getting sick?
Let's start with just getting sick.
Yes.
There was a difference.
Yes.
Less.
Right.
And
now COVID's coming around. Sally has it over here,
Right. Now,
no real people, but she has it over here. Oh God, should we remove her from her room and isolate her because, B-Bed is healthy? No.
Right.
B-Bed didn't get it.
Right.
Sally only kept it.
Okay.
Like it's,
Right. So now, just for understanding, if a resident presently has it, were they able to get the shot, or did they have to like wait till it surpassed to be able to get the shot?
Yeah, you have to wait.
You have to wait.
You can't be sick and get it.
You can't be sick and get it, right?
No.
Okay.
And you have to wait till you test negative to receive it.
Right.
You can't receive it positive.
Right. Any residents that you can just remember off top, like, they're just always testing positive?
Let me see. Yes. Yeah. Yep. I had like a 94-year-old lady. And she beat it like 4 times.
Right. And no she just had it.
She just had it.
Right.
Maybe like a cough.
Right.
Something mild like a cough.
Right.
But she always tests positive for it.
Now, how's the rest of your staff? I know you said you were again, but how's like the people on your sick side staff? Like, are they gung ho about getting the shot? Or are they like?
I mean, a lot of people again, it goes back to being scared, and then what they're pushing, what they're pushing on TV.
Right.
They're telling you this is the cure right here,
Right.
So they're pushing this vaccine, and this is going to get you better. So I'm sure everybody's like, I want it, I want that. I don't want this COVID.
Right.
And some people were like, yeah, and a lot of people were like, no.
Right. Felt like maybe it was too fast.
I felt like, what is this that we're putting inside of us?
Right.
We don't know. We don't know what we're putting inside of us.
Right. and eventually your facility made it mandatory, as
which
majority of places made it mandatory. What was the vibe like then? Was there like an outcry of no, don't want to do this, or people were just like, fuck it, I gotta keep my job?
Well, I'm one of the people who were like, I've been here for 17 years.
Right.
So I don't have a job set up
Right.
to just say that I don't want the vaccine, even though I wholeheartedly disagreed with it.
Right.
Like, I felt like I was forced to take it just because I didn't have a backup plan to be forced to take a vaccine or have no job.
Right.
So yeah, that was like, that was a little bit upsetting for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And even people who've worked in the nursing field 25 years, 30 years.
Yeah.
They were ready to walk away from it all and just to not get the shot.
Right.
Because they were concerned. Like, what is this that you came up with so fast?
Right.
You didn't know how to control it, how to cure it, but you came up with it so fast. I'm not taking it.
Right.
So people were willing to give up their whole careers.
Yeah.
Just to, and then I think like the day before it was mandated, I know the day after it was mandated in our building is when they said that we could have the religious exempt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they did it like a day late.
Oh, okay.
It was,
Right. But in between that time, were they like, cause I know a lot of people said like, they were feeling bullied at their
Absolutely.
jobs. Yeah.
Absolutely feeling bullied.
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess you're not gonna ever get a job if you're not vaccinated. Like, people were getting nasty about it, and then it was like people started separating people from each other. Like if we were like segregated or something, like the vaccinated against the non-vaccinated.
Right.
So it started to become like, well, I mean, you're not vaccinated, so you should have a mask on.
Right.
Like it turned into like
now it's
yeah,
nasty. Now
it started to turn nasty, and then that happened throughout the world too.
No, that's a fact.
Like it was like it was getting nasty out there. The vaccinated against the non-vaccinated.
Yeah, that kind of bugged me out when I would go into a store, and people would outlandishly just ask another random person, "Hey, you vaccinated?"
The what? Excuse me.
What the fuck? What? Do you know what OSHA is?
That is a HIPAA violation.
HIPAA, I'm sorry. Oh, HIPAA. Like, what you talking about? You can't answer me nothing.
At all.
Yeah, but it got, so it was getting crazy. Like, I remember, there's, I won't say the name because I'm not promoting nobody, but there's a popular, like, house decorating store. And I went in there, and this is kind of like when it was just opening back up and we had to walk around with masks and stuff like that. And the chick at the register was asking almost every person that came to the register and almost refusing if you weren't. If the person answered, and they would have people like, I'm not answering you, ring my shit up. I went on that line purposely. I was like, oh, please answer me. She must have read it on my face. Please answer me. Just say it. And she just looked at my face and she just... she must have. That if you had asked me some stupid shit like that, it would have been a wrap. But so now you're at the part where people are getting the shot. Some people are not getting the shot. It's getting nasty. Now, what is the vibe with patients and staff? Because patients didn't really have a choice, so they're getting the shot. How is the staff like saying, well, you shouldn't be working with these residents because they got the shot and they're healthy and you didn't get it?
Yeah, a lot of people were basing their concerns like that. Well, you're not vaccinated. Why are you working on this unit? You should be working around the sick people.
Right.
Yeah. So,
is this staff or is this administration?
No, this is staff. Like staff,
right.
it was getting nasty.
Right.
It really was, because it was like, well, we're all healthy. We don't want to be around you. We're vaccinated.
Right.
You were around me yesterday before we got the shot. What's wrong with you? We ate lunch together.
Yeah.
Stupid. Like, so that was just that was a time too. It went from different things from COVID.
Right.
It went from believing what COVID was, how do you fix it, to, okay, now we're being vaccinated. We have a thing. Now we're going into a whole thing of people who now don't like each other because you're not vaccinated or I'm not vaccinated or, you're a Republican, I'm a Democrat. Like,
Yeah.
like either or.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it was starting to become.
Right.
Like in places.
Right.
Yeah. Like it was getting crazy. But now it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Right. I was gonna ask you. So, like, when did you feel the vibe, shift back from that? Like, how long did it? So 2020, so 2021, the shot is around.
I got the shot.
Right.
I didn't get no boost. I was never putting any of that in my body again.
Right.
Only the shot. The shot nearly fucking killed me.
I remember you.
I was deadly ill from the shot. That's what I'm saying. And I have no children. So I was really up against it because I said, I don't know what I'm putting in my body. Like, if I want to have kids in the future, I don't know if whatever this was that was put inside the shot and then you forced me to get could prevent me from having children.
Right.
So it was just, I was against it for a couple different things,
Yeah.
And they made me get that. And that was very hurtful. And now you don't even need it. And that's even more hurtful because I could have just said, you know what, I'm going to walk away from everything for a couple months later for them to say, well, you guys don't need it now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I don't know what you guys put in your body, but you don't need it to work anymore.
Right. No apologies.
No apologies, no nothing. Just, yeah, you were forced. Sorry. But now, it's okay.
Right. That's crazy. So,
and we're just like with flu too, with the flu shot too.
Right.
Last year they forced that on us too.
Yeah. Well, I know most medical facilities, it's always been a thing. Yeah.
Like, I don't like that.
Right. So 2 years in now, the shot is there. What does the vibe change? Like, do you remember the feeling like, we're all good? Not really all good, but because people are still masked up. But meaning like the person who was like, I can't be around you because you didn't get the shot, is all of a sudden now you're sitting at the table kicking shit like that didn't just happen.
Yeah.
3 months. You wasn't just nasty to me 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when that finally? Do you remember that feeling, like when that changed?
So when we pulled the chambers down, we had it March to July. So
of what year?
March to August.
Of what year?
Of the year COVID hit.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
When we pulled down, the patients got to see each other and everything. And then after that, it was like, well, you don't need to be in all that stuff anymore. Mm-hmm. Like immediately. And
this is 21.
Yeah, we didn't need to be in any of the stuff, any of the gear anymore. We didn't need to wear an N95 anymore. Now we were just in regular plain masks.
The blue mask. Yeah.
And that was what? Because I felt like you compromised our breathing for 5 months to teach us differently.
Right.
Because we were up against something, right?
Mm-hmm.
To just say, well, it was nothing. Just put a regular mask on. And then we only wore a regular mask for a little bit, for maybe less than a year. Mm-hmm. And then it was no mask.
Right.
Then it was just now COVID is the common cold.
Right.
And that's crazy.
Right. But again, with the staff though. So just try to remember the one who was the nastiest with you. Right. So y'all were okay prior COVID hits, and then this one is like, oh, you're not vaccinated, and they were the nastiest person you could remember that to you. Mm-hmm. And then now it's past. What was that vibe like?
Now I just don't even want to look at you.
Right.
You know, because it was like you were just going off of something that you didn't know yet. And I get it. Everybody did. But it's like you were picking sides over a real choice. Like to put something in your body was a real choice.
Right.
You know, if I didn't want it, that's my decision.
Right.
Now we're not talking, but we have to work with each other.
Right.
Come on. So it was coming back to it was a little funny. You know, it was accepting it back. It was a little funny. But I'm a good coworker.
Any apologies?
Not a lot of people apologized.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, no.
You know, sometimes people have funny ways of apologizing, so they get more friendly than they were before.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get any of that?
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Yeah,
you could buy me lunch and shit, you know.
Yeah.
I'm always hungry. So, so it was some coming back gifts.
Right. Yeah.
Because you didn't need it, right?
Random Jersey Mikes.
Yeah. Because you didn't need it, right?
Yeah,
But you like pushed it on us and you argued with us about it, and now you don't need what you put in your body. So.
Hey, I bought the whole room's pizza for everybody.
Sorry.
No. Damn. But so now we're all the way forward. We're here.
Mm-hmm. Now we're here, present day.
Present day. When you look back, like, I know you kind of expressed like what that feeling was then, but like, how do you feel like now? Meaning, take what you take from what I just answered.
How do I feel now about COVID?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Now I know that COVID is just like a germ that you can pick up at the grocery store, grabbing a box of cereal.
Right.
That's how fast you can get it now.
Right.
I'm not afraid of it at all.
Mm-hmm.
We've been through it.
Right.
We clearly now we know the signs and the symptoms of it.
Right.
I'm not masking up.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
Because I like to be mask free.
Right.
And
be able to breathe.
And be able to breathe and enjoy nature.
Right.
You know, I don't want to be compromised. And it's not a joke because people are still dying and people are still getting sick and it's still very real. But it's like what you did to us, healthcare workers, was a F-bomb. You know?
Right.
It's like for it to be, well, it's COVID, you know, it's just a cold now.
Yeah.
Now it's like a slap in the face, like from what it was then to what it is now. It should always, I guess, still be so serious.
Right.
You know, now no vaccine, you know, it doesn't matter. You could go in anywhere. You don't have to wear a mask nowhere, which is great. I love that. But it just, maybe it was overreacted to. Maybe it was.
I still find it crazy that they were up to the last I remember, and I think this was last year or the year before. They were up to like 5 of the boosters, like 5, 6 or something.
What are you boosting?
Right. If it's not that serious anymore, why are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's free.
Skimming the herd.
Yeah. So, you throw me off. But you got a dinner date?
Yeah. My belly and the food.
No. So, yeah. So we're caught up, and so right now you just feel like it was too much.
It was a lot.
It was a lot
for it to be not serious present day.
Right.
And I get it. People were still trying to figure it out, but even after things started to go into play, it was still a lot for it to just be a cold.
Right.
You know, for it to be like, oh, well, you know, it's just... Y'all were changing people's lives. Yous were firing people. Right. You know, yous were forcing people to leave. Like, basically.
Yeah. Drop careers or whatever.
Drop careers. Like, yous were...
That's my next question. Did anybody who left, did you see them come back? Or did they come back? afterwards?
No.
No, they never came
No.
back? You think if they did want to come back, they would have had
If they came back, they came back for their own reasons, but not for COVID. If they left for COVID, like got fired.
Right.
No, there's people who walked out and gave up.
And just gave up.
And just gave it up. I'm not doing that. They were like, I'm not putting that in my body. I'll walk out right now. I don't care.
Is it still a mandatory thing?
No.
It's not. I know you said that thing, but I mean, like, for the new people coming in, it's not a mandatory thing. I know some facilities are like still trying to like kind of push it a little bit, and like, why? It doesn't make sense. It's not mandatory anywhere else.
Like that's what bothered us a lot.
Right.
Is that you like.
Well, they were getting a lot of kickbacks. The government was getting. Well, the hospitals were getting kickbacks from the government to give these shots. I don't want. There's a question I want to ask, but I don't want to ask you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it's a little bit like deep, and I don't want you to. Well, maybe you could ask. Maybe you could.
I was just about to say. So here's my thing. Like, how are you gonna ask me the question, but tell me that you're not gonna ask me the question? Because
shut up. First of all,
I'm with it. I'm listening.
All right, because like friend of no, I punch you in the mouth. No, so no.
You hear me?
You have it ever been?
You could chop it up if you want to.
Yeah. No, I got it. Has there ever been, because I know you say for you and the staff, but has there ever been like a resident that you seen got it and it went south for them?
No.
No.
You
know what you understand what I'm saying? Right.
No.
Yeah. Because that was another wild thing because like.
So you get sick when you get it.
Right, and then, but there were people who were not medical, not people who were not residents. People were getting it and just dropping off.
Yeah.
But you didn't see that with the residents.
And then there were 3 different kinds.
What do you mean?
Of the vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
It was 3 different companies with so. They were saying like this one's not good, this one's better. The Johnson & Johnson was horrible. So what was the other one?
Moderna.
The Moderna.
And then Pfizer.
And then the Pfizer. So it just, I guess it kind of.
Then to get to find out that after all of this, that it's all one company.
With 3 names.
Yeah. Well, the
branches, right?
Well, it's one company, but the way I understand it, and I'm no expert, so you do the fact check yourself.
Yeah, me either.
But so it's one company that was making it, and the 3 company they were using just outsourcing these 3 companies to put it out. And I think with the Johnson & Johnson, they said it was horrible, but something because they were giving too much.
Yeah.
At one time. So what was supposed to be the 2 shots, they were giving it to you in 1. So
the 20 is, like the first is 20, the second is 80. So the first shot is 20% of the shot. It goes into you, sees how your body reacts to it.
Right.
And then a couple weeks later,
you get the other.
You get the 80.
Right. And Johnson & Johnson was giving you the full 100.
The full 100.
One time.
Which is like, for me, I was sick both times.
Right.
Like, so I didn't want none of it. None of it.
Yeah. But none of, you didn't see any of that with the residents.
Now, some of them got sick from the shot, but that was expected.
Right.
Because that's how you know it's working.
Right. But none of them deceased from it. Fine.
Nope.
Crazy thing. Yo, listen, I think we covered enough, man.
We covered enough? Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming down and doing this joint.
I don't know how good I did, but I'm nervous.
No. You did great. I told you. You were worried.
Guys, this is my first time.
Can I say it? I broke it. No, but you did great. I told you the most jarring part is just hearing back your voice.
Yeah, I never heard my voice before. So
you see how you sound?
annoying, because you did say I was an annoying friend in the beginning.
Yeah. But you see what I hear? Yuck. No.
Yuck is crazy.
Yuck is crazy.
That was rude.
I wanted to put the E in front, but I figured that'd be too much. You know what I'm talking about? I wanted to go, yuck. With the hard K.
Why?
Right? No, but I appreciate you doing this.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to do this before, but I wanted, you know what I mean? Like, you know, scheduling and all that other stuff, but we were able to get it done. And you did a great job. You did amazing.
Thank you.
Maybe I bring you in here for something else.
Maybe we can have a different topic of a discussion.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Talk about a bunch of shit. Like,
get my characters out here.
Yeah, we need that. Yeah, need that. But because we always have great convos.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe get some other people's in here too, and we just all chop it up and do the thing. So, man, this could be the start of something.
Could be.
Who knows? But again, I appreciate you. And with that said, listen, I appreciate y'all. You know, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me. And for that, I thank you. And we are out of here.